So let's move on to conversion heuristics. Conversion heuristics are simply rules of thumb for getting better results from your website. So they're essentially well-established rules or best practices in web design and how users interact with websites. And using conversion heuristics to improve results is one of my favorite methods because they're an extremely reliable way to increase the results of a website in a relatively small space of time. In other words, they're rules that work almost all of the time. So when conducting a heuristic evaluation of a website, the researcher or consultant will act as a website customer and attempt to complete a set of tasks related to your website outcome. In addition to best practices, the researcher will draw on their own experience of running usability and conversion studies to suggest modifications to clear away conversion obstacles and generate higher and better results. You can also do your own heuristic evaluations once you know the rules of thumb. Here are a few of the basics. Don't obstruct or compete with users' critical goals. Don't serve unexpected sound or animation at users. Allow users to buy without registering. Don't make critical information look like advertising. Underline all links. Do not underline any other words. Everything clickable should have a rollover effect. Those are a few of the basics, and you can see that they're pretty easy to follow rules that you can understand and apply fairly simply. And to aid you in making heuristic evaluations, I've actually published an audio program called Advanced Website Conversion Strategies. It includes over 55 proven strategies for increasing website results, using these rules of thumb that you can apply immediately. For more information on that product, you can go to www.marketing-results.com.au/conversion. When you consider that applying conversion best practices to your website can boost profits by 50 or more %, it seems crazy not to do so. Okay, let's move on to talking about clickstream data. Analyzing clickstream data is what old-school web analytics is all about. Clickstream data is information on where users click on your website. It is about what they clicked as opposed to why they clicked. Clickstream data is a much more powerful tool when placed alongside the qualitative tools such as usability testing and customer surveys. So how do you get set up with clickstream analysis? You need an analytics program for your website. I highly recommend Google Analytics for most applications because it's very powerful and it's also free. If you require greater sophistication or you need all your data to remain in-house, there are a variety of analytics platforms available, ranging in price from the low thousands to serious six-figure investments. So let's assume that you've chosen an analytics provider. Your first challenge is to ensure that everything is correctly set up. Bill Hunt, the CEO of Global Strategies International, has said that 8 out of 10 implementations of web analytics solutions are incorrectly set up. If your implementation is not right, you won't be able to make reliable decisions. That's the old GIGO principle, or garbage in, garbage out. If you're unsure of what you're doing, I recommend choosing a provider of analytics consulting services to ensure that your installation is correctly installed as a bare minimum. So once you're installed, the first thing to do is to set up one or more conversion goals, such as newsletter sign-ups or shopping cart purchases. Even if you don't do much with the data you're collecting yet, having the historical data in place for when you do is really, really useful. If you decide to do something in 6 months, you can't actually go back and recreate the data in the interim that could have provided you with a lot of new insights. Going into much more depth about clickstream data analysis is far beyond the scope of this video, but my main piece of advice is to get set up with analytics now if you don't already have it installed. If you do have it installed, then I recommend contacting a reputable consultant for advice on how to turn that information into cash. A good consultant will be able to make you far more than they cost you.